So I've had a day pretty much now to kind of sleep on it and think about it a little bit more, and still no. No. There's even more reasons now. The more time I've had to think about it, even more reasons that I don't want a PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay, so I'm not gonna go over what I've already said too much more, but £700 is now getting into the range of PC gaming. £700 will get you a pretty good gaming PC, even though I don't really know much about gaming PCs. But my daughter's got a gaming laptop. Now, if I was gonna get something, if I wasn't gonna get PlayStation anymore for myself, I would get myself a really good gaming laptop, and that would be maybe I've seen some. Her one was about 700, um, and it's one of those Asus tough ones. Um, uh, if I was gonna get one, I'd probably get one of those, but maybe with even more improved graphics, like a 4070 or something, or whatever it was, 4080. Maybe not quite the top one, which was the 4090, and that would maybe be around £1,000 roughly, a little bit more. But at least with that, I would be able to have a portable laptop that I could take other places with me, travel around, and use. Um, Even if I didn't have internet, I could play or whatever with games installed. I could play Steam, so I could have loads of games that I can't play on PlayStation, and eventually now it seems most games are kind of going over to Steam anyway, if not straight away. Like the live service games, I think are kind of going at the same time, like Helldivers and stuff. Um, but other games are kind of going like a year or so after. So if I was gonna go down that road, I could quite easily, say, well, yeah, £1,000 would be maybe more worth it than a £700 PlayStation that sits in one room only, that I'd have to box up or something and carry around to go to other places or whatever and plug it in. It's not a laptop. It's not something I could sit somewhere in, like a cafe or something, if I wanted to, or on the train or whatever. Um, so yeah, you're starting to get into that kind of realm. Like the whole idea of console gaming was meant to be that it was a cheaper alternative to PC gaming, and not having to, well, back in PlayStation 3 kind of days and stuff, when that was coming out, was, in my mind, I always thought the reason to have a PlayStation is you get um all the exclusive games, all the third party games, blah 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 blah. But you're buying, say, a PlayStation 5 at the beginning of its life when it first releases, and you can play that for 10 years or whatever, until the next PlayStation comes out, the PlayStation 6 or whatever. And even if you wanted to, you could maybe wait a year or two, because games come out on both consoles, and even still, kind of 4 years later, it's still kind of coming out on PlayStation 4 and 5, and slowly now dying off. Um, so you get a lot of years out of it, whereas PC gaming maybe isn't quite as bad as it used to be in that sense, but it always used to be, in my mind anyway. You needed to upgrade your PC like every couple of years. Otherwise, it's you're running the risk of, will it work, and you're having to keep looking on the internet and looking up if it's going to work or not, if certain games are going to work with this PC or with this graphics card. There's no standard, whereas everything is standard when you buy a console, because it's all across one thing. So anyway, yeah, so that's my rant about that. Is like, the price and everything. It's just, to me, it's just crazy. And for the reasons I said yesterday, the graphics aren't really noticeable, and all you're maybe getting is slightly better frame rate, um, with the better graphics. Whereas I play, if there's the options in the games, I play performance mode, so I get as close to, or I get 60 frames per second with slightly less detailed graphics and stuff, and that for me is absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. Whereas the Pro seems to be, you get the performance and the fidelity mode all in one, so you don't sacrifice any of the graphics. But is that really worth the extra, what, £200 or whatever that is, right? Or well over £200 that is right now. So I don't know. But yes, and that, now I've seen, the blog post on the PlayStation blog, and so no, maybe slightly more details now. It's still only really saying the three main things is the is the selling point, which is the upgraded GPU, which is 28% faster memory and 67% more compute units, blah blah blah. Which, whatever, if it makes it slightly faster and slightly smoother, then yeah. But am I gonna play my PlayStation? If I was to get one, would I play my PlayStation 5 right next to the Pro and play them at the same time, playing the same game, to see that slightly smoother gameplay, slightly better graphics? I don't know. I really don't know. Advanced ray tracing, the AI upscaling, and the only thing that seemed to be a improvement in my mind was the 2 terabyte hard drive instead of the 1 terabyte or less, or whatever, like the launch one's got. It was in here somewhere. Yeah, down there with the price. So 2 terabyte SSD. Everything else is still the same, and you still get Astro's Playroom pre-installed, which is what you got on the base PlayStation 5. So there's no extras. Plus, the Pro doesn't have the disk drive, so you need to buy the disk drive separately. For me, it was a problem at first when the PlayStation 5 came out. It was an option of get the one with the hard drive or the digital one, and I got the one with the hard drive because on PlayStation 4 I was still buying half my games as downloads, because I would see what was on sales and stuff and then buy games on sales. And then when a big game was about to come out, I'd pre-order it for a physical release and have the physical copy. With PlayStation 5, I thought I was going to still do the same thing, and I didn't really do it as much. I've only really got Hogwarts, and that's actually it on a physical game. All my other games are digital. So for me, maybe that wouldn't be such a problem. But the thing is you're taking the hard drive away, so really that should have taken the price away. Shouldn't that mean now that the Pro without a disk drive should be only slightly more expensive than a base PlayStation 5 that has the hard drive, if anything, or about the same? I just don't know. Like, for me, I just find it crazy. You're taking stuff out and it's not really being replaced with anything substantial that justifies the amount, except from the 2 terabyte hard drive. And to be honest, earlier on this year, I got myself for my son's PlayStation, I got him a 1 terabyte SSD. So he doesn't have quite as many games as me, but he needed the space because he still does have like 10 or 12 games, and he will want more as time goes on. But it's just not like he wants every game that comes out. So got that one. That was $69.99 on Amazon, and I got myself a 2 terabyte Samsung SSD that was £130. So I'm kind of, I don't need it for that. And to be honest, the £130 wasn't in a sale or anything like that. If I probably was to get it maybe this year. Like, I got it earlier on this year, but if I was to get it for Black Friday, Christmas period, this year, and the sales on and things like that, I probably could find that 2 terabyte hard drive for less than £100 or whatever. So is paying another 250 or whatever it is, on £250 on top of a regular PlayStation 4 really worth it for 2 terabyte and very minimal, slightly better, slightly smoother graphics, and your your disk drive's been taken away? I don't know, man. But for me, no. I'll wait until PlayStation 6 comes out.